Hi, this is Dr. Farley. In this week's blog, I want to go over a term that I just recently came across called the Salutogenic model as a theory to guide health promotion. And under health, again, I want to put in there, brain, mental health, and physical health. And it's an interesting article. It was published. This was published in 1996, and the gentleman's name is Aaron Antonovsky. And he's basically saying we need to move away from the idea of the disease model, even move away from the idea of a prevention model, and move into a true healthcare, health promotion model. He also talks about what he calls the sense of coherence, which is a generalized orientation toward the world, which you perceive it, and how you deal with it. I would tell you that D.D. Palmer was saying the same exact thing. He called it tone in 1895, way before any of these people thought of this. So good tone or bad tone is how you will then handle your physical, chemical, and mental emotional stressors. It will give you a perception of yourself and the environment around you, and it will influence yourself and all of your relationships. So in here also, what we need to realize is that we at my office here, we do focus on helping you understand mental emotional stress. And what we are excellent at, I just wrote this down because I just went through this little conversation with two patients this morning. We are excellent at problem solving talks and not pathology naming counseling. Pathology naming counseling, we put a name on your symptoms, we talk about them over and over and over again, and we never really focus on how are we getting out of this. How do we solve this problem as best we can? And what I've come to the conclusion is most of the time you can narrow down what your options are. And then you narrow down what your options are to your two best choices, and then you make a choice. And you make a decision to move forward and to change things. And then when you do that, you have the opportunity of getting out of these chronic mental emotional stressors. The only thing that locks you in are your own thoughts and your own perceptions of what you can and you can't do. And most of the time you're wrong. You're wrong. You can change anything at any point in time. And then when you focus on the change and you focus on solving the problem and you focus on what your real options are, not just talking, but you write them down on a piece of paper. What are your real options? It gets very clear where you should go. And then your options also can be focused on your goals. You have to have goals written down, and your goals need to be clear so that every day you are spurring your brain, driving it, spinning those gears in the direction of where you want to go. And just by reading your goals that you established, you are moving yourself in a positive direction. And if you do that twice a day, after a while, you are helping to rewire your brain. And over a time frame, you'll help to rewire your brain, and gradually things will start to show up in your life, mentally and physically, and you'll wonder why that all happened. Because your focus and what your focus and your goals is where you will drive yourself toward. And then over a time frame, then every day you set up your actions to line up with where you want to go. And you don't do things that are not lined up with where you want to go. And once you line things up to do the actions to where you want to go, you start to get to where you want to go. And then gradually things start to change. And only when things change can you possibly get a different outcome. And that would be, again, whether we're talking about your brain, your mental state, your emotional state, or your body. You have to focus in those directions there. So in this model here, they talk about this sense of coherence again. And I would tell you that what we do here is we focus on general tone. Tone is good music. Good music means that you are in balance, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially, and bad tone means you're out of balance. We also can help you start to understand how the mind works and focusing on where you want to go, not where you are, and not ruminating in the negative ideas over and over and over again. We also, in my mind also, we can't go back that far and talk about potential causes of what created what's going on with you. We have to just decide where are you now, and then how do you move forward. And then gradually you start to set that in motion, and little by little you help to rewire your brain. And then as you rewire your brain, your behaviors change, your thought process change, your relationships change, and things move in a positive direction. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you and have a great day.